Ethan Walker drove through the quiet Oregon highway with a heavy heart, the sound of the wheels humming beneath him as his mother's fragile face lingered in his mind. He had just spent 3 exhausting days at the hospital after her sudden collapse. The doctors said she was stable now, but emotionally, Ethan was far from okay. He wanted nothing more than to return home, hug his wife, and breathe in the comfort he always found in their small but warm house. His wife, Madison, had been supportive through everything: late-night calls, checking updates, even preparing meals he never ended up eating. She was the calm in his storm. So as he pulled into the driveway just after dusk, he expected her gentle smile waiting behind the door. But when he walked inside, the house felt wrong. Too quiet, too still. "Madison?" he called out, setting his duffel bag down. No answer. He checked the kitchen, empty, the living room silent, their bedroom untouched since he'd left. His chest tightened. Maybe she had gone to the store or visited a friend, he told himself. But Madison never left the house without texting him. That was their unspoken rule. Then he heard it, a faint, rhythmic thumping, soft but unmistakable, coming from downstairs. Ethan's heartbeat sharpened as he stepped toward the basement door. Normally it creaked, but tonight it was slightly cracked open, as if someone had gone down recently. "Hello?" he called again, but his own voice echoed back at him. He switched on the stairway light and descended slowly. Halfway down, he noticed something odd. The smell damp, metallic, and unfamiliar. Reaching the basement floor, he froze. The far door, the small storage room, was locked from the outside. A metal bar had been slid across it, something he had never seen used in the 7 years they'd lived there. Then he heard it again. Thump. Then a muffled voice. "Ethan?" His blood turned cold. That was Madison's voice. He rushed forward, yanking at the lock with trembling hands. "Madison, I'm here. Hold on." Inside, she cried, "Please, please open it." The bar clattered to the floor and Ethan threw open the door, and what he saw was nothing he could have imagined. The door swung open, and Ethan's breath caught in his throat. Madison sat on the cold concrete floor, her wrists red from struggling against the zip ties that held them together. Her blonde hair was messy, her cheeks streaked with tears, and her clothes looked like she had slept in them for days. She blinked rapidly as the light flooded the cramped storage room. "Ethan," she whispered, her voice trembling. He rushed to her, cutting the zip ties with the box cutter kept on a nearby shelf. "Madison, what? What happened? Who did this to you?" His mind raced wildly. A break-in? A kidnapping? But nothing made sense. Why would anyone lock her in their basement? As soon as her hands were free, she collapsed into his arms, shaking uncontrollably. "I was so scared you wouldn't come home," she sobbed. "I'm here now," he said, pulling her close, though fear tightened around his ribs. "Tell me what happened, please." She hesitated, wiping her tears with trembling fingers. "Ethan, I didn't know if you'd believe me." He held her by the shoulders. "Try me." She swallowed hard. "It was someone you know." Confusion washed over him. "Who?" Madison's eyes glistened with fear. "Trevor." Ethan went still. Trevor Hayes, his longtime friend, his co-worker at the construction company, the guy who helped him move furniture last year and joked about stealing Ethan's tools. Trevor had a key to the house because Ethan trusted him. "That's not possible," Ethan muttered, shaking his head. "Trevor wouldn't." "He did," she insisted, gripping his arm. "He came here the night you left for the hospital. He said he wanted to check on me. But then Something changed. His face, his tone, like he wasn't Trevor anymore. Ethan's stomach churned. Why would he do something so insane? Madison's breath hitched before she whispered, "Because he said you owed him, and if you couldn't pay, he'd take me instead." Ethan stepped back, stunned. Owed him? For what? He and Trevor never had that kind of arrangement. But before he could process anything, Madison grabbed his hand tightly. "He said he'd be back tonight," she cried. "He said I'd better be ready." Ethan's pulse thundered in his ears as he pulled her up. "We're leaving right now." But before they reached the stairs, the basement light flickered, then went out completely. The basement dropped into darkness so suddenly that Ethan felt the air shift around him. Madison gasped and clutched his arm. Ethan reached for his phone, using its flashlight to cut through the blackness. "Stay behind me," he whispered, his voice low and sharp. They took careful steps toward the stairs, but after only a few feet, Ethan stopped cold. The basement door at the top of the stairs, previously cracked open, was now shut. He could see the faint outline through the dim light. Shut and locked from the outside. A chill crawled across Ethan's skin. "Ethan," Madison whispered, panic rising. "He's here. I know he is." Ethan swallowed hard, trying to steady his breathing. "We don't know that." A loud thud cut off his words. It came from above them, then footsteps. Slow, heavy, purposeful. Madison squeezed his hand, trembling. "That's him. I know those steps. He walked just like that down here when he..." Her voice cracked. Before she could finish, Ethan clenched his jaw. Trevor had been in his house. Trevor had locked his wife in the basement. And now, Trevor was walking around upstairs like he owned the place. "Stay quiet," Ethan whispered, leading her toward the tool cabinet. He needed something he could use as a weapon. A hammer, a wrench, anything. He grabbed a steel pry bar and handed Madison a flashlight. "If he comes down, shine it in his eyes. Don't hesitate." Madison nodded, though her hands shook so violently the light jittered across the walls. Suddenly, the basement door handle rattled. Ethan froze. Then a voice floated down, casual, amused, like someone greeting an old friend. "Ethan," Trevor called. "Heard you were back in town." Ethan felt rage burn through him. "Trevor, what the hell is going on? Why did you lock my wife in the basement?" Trevor chuckled. "Oh, buddy. You still don't get it, do you?" Madison stepped behind Ethan, gripping his shirt. "What do you want?" Ethan shouted. Trevor's tone shifted, harder, colder. "You owe me. You always have. And now, I'm here to collect." Ethan's heart pounded. "I don't owe you anything." Silence. Then Trevor whispered through the crack in the door, voice chilling. "You took something from me, Ethan. Something you never should have touched." Before Ethan could respond, there was a click. The sound of the basement door unlocking, and the footsteps began descending the stairs. Trevor's boots creaked against the wooden steps, each footfall echoing like a countdown. Ethan tightened his grip on the pry bar, while Madison steadied the flashlight, her breathing fast and shallow. "Stay right behind me," Ethan whispered. "Ethan, he's dangerous," she choked out. "I know." The beam of Madison's flashlight wavered across the stairway as Trevor's silhouette came into view. Shoulders broad, moving slowly, deliberately, like he had all the time in the world. Ethan aimed the pry bar forward. Trevor stopped halfway down and tilted his head as if admiring their fear. "You look tense, buddy. You think that little metal stick is going to do something?" "Tell me what you want," Ethan demanded. Why are you doing this? Trevor smirked. You really don't remember, do you? All those years, all that loyalty, and you forget the most important part. What part? Trevor took another step down, his eyes glinting. I saved your life, Ethan. You were 22, broken, drunk almost every night. No job, no money. And one night you nearly got yourself killed outside O'Malley's bar. Ethan felt a flash of the memory. Vague, blurry, painful. Trevor pulling him away from a fight. Blood on his shirt. Sirens in the distance. I remember, Ethan muttered. But that doesn't mean you... Trevor cut him off. You promised me something that night. You said, word for word, if you ever need anything from me, I owe you my life. He jabbed a finger toward Ethan. Well, guess what? I'm cashing in, and what I want is Madison. Madison gasped, stumbling back. You're insane, Trevor's jaw tightened. I spent years cleaning up his messes, years watching him win everything. Jobs, respect, and then you. His voice cracked with anger. Ethan doesn't deserve you, but I do. That promise wasn't a contract, Ethan roared. You helped me as a friend. Oh no, Trevor growled, descending another step. I helped you as an investment. Ethan stepped forward. You're not taking her. Trevor grinned, cold and unhinged. Then I'll take what I'm owed by force. Madison, light! Ethan shouted. Trevor lunged. Madison swung the flashlight beam directly into Trevor's face, blinding him. Trevor roared in anger. Covering his eyes, Ethan rushed forward with the pry bar, adrenaline exploding through him. The force of the impact sent Trevor tumbling backward. He hit the stairs hard, then crashed onto the basement floor with a sickening thud. But before Ethan could catch his breath, Trevor groaned and started to get back up. Trevor pushed himself up from the floor, blood dripping from his forehead, but his eyes wild with determination. You think that's enough to stop me? He growled, staggering toward them. Ethan pulled Madison behind him, gripping the pry bar tighter, his own arms shaking from adrenaline and fear. Trevor, stay down, Ethan warned. But Trevor kept advancing, fueled by obsession more than strength. She was supposed to be mine, he spat. Everything you have should have been mine. Ethan stepped forward. You don't get to rewrite my life because you regret yours. Trevor lunged again, this time grabbing Ethan's shirt and slamming him into the wall. The force knocked the air from Ethan's lungs. Madison screamed, swinging the flashlight at Trevor's arm, but he barely flinched. His hands tightened around Ethan's throat. Ethan clawed at Trevor's wrists, vision blurring. He felt his knees buckle. Then a metallic clang echoed through the basement. Madison stood behind Trevor, gripping the steel toolbox she had swung with all her strength. Trevor staggered, disoriented. Ethan seized the moment, shoving Trevor backward. Trevor tripped over a loose toolbox on the floor and fell hard, his head striking the concrete with a brutal crack. Silence. Madison froze, her hands trembling. Ethan! Is he... Ethan crouched and checked for a pulse. Trevor was alive, but unconscious, breathing shallowly, blood pooling beneath his head. He's alive, Will, Ethan said, exhaling sharply. Call 911. Madison scrambled upstairs as Ethan stayed beside Trevor, chest rising and falling. With long, shaky breaths, sirens wailed in the distance minutes later. Police stormed in, and paramedics loaded Trevor onto a stretcher. Officers took statements, photographed the basement, and collected evidence. One officer shook his head in disbelief. If you hadn't come home when you did, this could have ended a lot worse. As the last cruiser pulled away, Madison leaned into Ethan, whispering, "I thought I would never see you again." Ethan wrapped his arms around her tightly. "I'm never leaving you alone again. Not after this." They sat on the living room couch, shaken but alive, hand in hand. Madison rested her head on his shoulder. Ethan looked toward the basement door, still slightly open, and shuddered. Trevor had come to collect a promise, made in a broken moment of youth. But Ethan had learned something powerful tonight. Some debts aren't real. Some friendships aren't worth saving. And some promises should never be honored. Madison kissed his hand softly. "We're safe now, Ethan," he whispered back. "Yeah, we are." Thank you so much for watching this story till the end. I hope you enjoyed it and maybe even learned something from it. If you'd like to hear more stories like this, full of life lessons, drama, and emotions, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you'll never miss an update. Your support means the world, and it helps me keep bringing you more inspiring and unforgettable stories. Stay tuned because more amazing stories are on the way.